We are going to start with Victor Wembanyama. I'm speechless, so I don't. What y'all
the
got?
hell is wrong with him?
Let me get my mic and make sure. Okay, so first and foremost, there's nothing wrong with him. And the reason why there's nothing wrong with him, because you being a big man, it's like somebody reminded him, hey, big fella, you're a big fella. How about you do big man things? And that's what you saw last night. You saw
Right.
a big man playing like a big guy. If I got a small guy on me, I'm going to treat you like a small guy. If I'm a big guy and I'm better around the basket than you smaller guys, I'm going to treat you like that. He only shot 2 threes last night. That's it. I don't need to do that. You know why I don't need to do that? Because I'm bigger than
Good
all of
job.
you guys.
Good job, big fella.
I think
Chill.
he had,
We
if I'm not
talked about
mistaken,
it.
real quick, Ox.
Oh,
I think
but
if I'm not mistaken, I think he had 5 dunks last night. If I'm not mistaken, straighten me out. I think he had 5 dunks last night. With the 5 dunks he had, I'm bigger than you. I'm more effective around the basket. I don't need to be pushed away from the basket. I don't have to play out here. I can play out at the long ball line, but I'm not going to. You know why? Because I'm more effective, because I'm bigger than you. That's why.
Mars, this is what happens when a shooting guard transitions to a power forward.
Uh-oh.
You know. My thing, chill. We talked about it though, like even in the offseason. It's like we know he's gonna get stronger. And it seems like he's definitely getting there. Like he's getting stronger. He's not getting knocked off his pivot like that. When he attacks, you could just see the strength, the mobility. It was nice to see. I do think that people should probably stop jumping for his pump fakes because you're not going to block it anyway. So just get a hand up. There's no like PJ Washington jumping for pump fakes. He's going to the rim and dunking. It's like there's no reason to jump for that. You can't block that, PJ. Just stay down and play solid. Play as solid defense as you can. I don't know how you stop Wemby if he's playing like this though. Chill. When he's out there shooting 9, 10 threes, he's bailing out the defense. When
You mean like a big man, Ox? You mean when he's playing like a big guy? Is that what you mean?
When he's playing physical, when he's playing aggressive, I won't even say playing necessarily like a big guy, chill, because a lot of big guys can't play like that. The way what Wemby was doing yesterday and putting the ball on the ground and just so I won't say necessarily playing like a big man, chill, but not bailing out the defense with long unnecessary threes, but just making your presence felt and just being a force on the basketball court is what is more so what I'm talking about.
Now remember what you, because I want to make sure that I'm clear on what I saw when I said a big man. Ox, I didn't see a lot of tween dribbling between my legs. I saw a lot of 1-2 dribble, get to the rim. I didn't see a lot of that stuff. No, I didn't. I saw him transition. If the ball came off the glass, he was running the floor, running to the rim like a big man. He was getting lobs, diving to the rim like a big man. Don't get me wrong, Ox. I can appreciate all the other stuff that you do as a big man, right? I can appreciate the skill set that comes with playing in today's game. I can appreciate you being pushed away from the basket, having to be able to handle the basketball, having to be able to score on the perimeter. But I don't have to do that. I'm going to do that, but I don't have to do that. The stuff that I have to do is the big man stuff, because that's what makes us an even better team. That's why Castle was able to do what Castle was able to do last night. That's why he was able to get into the teeth of the defense and throw lobs to the rim, right? That's why Harper was able to do what Harper was able to do. And I'm going to say this one more time for the people in the cheap seats. Wait till they get Foxy back. Wait till they get Foxy back. They're going to be even better. Wait till
Yo, fellas.
Who's the worst team in Texas, sir?
Right quick, Ox, before we do anything else, Mars, I need you to get into your eloquent bag and just describe to us with the heaviest of accents that you have. What did we see last night? Like, what in fact was that?
I try to be like, I don't want to say analytical, but I try to analyze what I see. I try to view things from like the impact perspective and try to view things logically and try to take my emotion out of it, all of that amazing stuff or bad stuff, depends on how you view it. But at the end of the day, I think we all agree we watch sports to be entertained. Sports for some people is an escape from the real world, all of that stuff. So I'm not gonna analyze, is this sustainable for Wemby? Is the Dallas defense not as good as we thought? Is Wemby having 0 turnovers, a turn of a new leaf? All cool. I'm just gonna speak from a fan perspective. What I watched Wemby do, I wasn't speechless. I've never been so confused, mind boggled, flabbergasted by what I've seen a
What is
basketball
that?
player do on a
Can you
basketball
do
court
that? What is
in
that?
my life. I've never watched a game and seen that many moments of what I view to be magic from one individual. Like, I'm not saying he's the best player to ever play. Like, obviously, more goes into that away from just the emotional part of it. But at the end of the day, basketball and sports in general are emotional. That's how people feel. That's what gets fans attached to players and teams, whatever the case may be. And the emotional experience that I went through watching some 7'6" human being do things that I thought were impossible can't be measured by stats or I'm not coming at pen when I say box plus minus, but like it can't be measured by those things. Maybe his box plus minus was 26, but it can't. What it made you feel, I think, is what I took away from that. What he did was amazing. I can't put it into words. I can't put it into numbers. I saw things that I didn't think humans could do, let alone 7'6" humans moving like that. And then I had my concerns, obviously, in the preseason about the turnovers. He averaged like 5 turnovers in 20 minutes. I was like, oh, Wemby's been turnover prone his whole career. And I'm not saying he's not going to be turnover prone this year. But what I watched, he never has to have a game like that again in his career. That game, that to me is the limit of human possibility that I witnessed last night.
Does it get better than that, Mars, in your estimation? Like what you saw last night, does it get better than that?
That being possible. So if it gets better than that, then I don't know what we're meant to do. Because what I just watched was a masterclass in basketball. The defensive plays, he's got even better on defense, by the way. Like his discipline is way better. So the best defender in the sport has got better on defense. The offensive patience. Like, do I still think he's not the strongest person in the world? Yes, but the ability to stay on your pivot, up fake, step through, use your strides to get from the 3-point line to the rim in 2 steps, like in the half court, by the way, not in transition, in the half court. Like he's doing things that he drove baseline up and under reverse dunk. Like, what am I watching? I don't. And then we all know the play on Derek Lively. Like,
he smacked that shit. Get that shit out of here.
What was the coolest though?
I don't know.
That's the kind of block shot I saw, Ox. I saw a shot. He blocked that shot. Like, don't come in here with that bullshit no more. Get that shit out of here.
Is he better than Evan Mobley now? I'm just curious.
I think
Is he better
to
than
Mars's
Evan
point.
Mobley?
Nice.
Yeah, I'm bringing it back.
No.
Yo, Damian, what's up? What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say to Mars's point, the coolest thing was watching the whole basketball world be in awe of this guy at the same time. And I think with Wemby, watching what he can do last night, we've gone past this guy being a generational prospect. This is a once in a lifetime type player. We have never seen anything like this. We talk about prospects when they come in, they have a little bit of this guy. I can see a little bit of this past legend in him. We have never, ever seen anything like Wemby. And I don't know if we ever will. And we've probably spent too much time talking about who's the next face of the league when he's probably been there the whole time. And it would be in the league's best interest to probably invest in him now, especially with them wanting to expand into Europe and him being European. I think it makes a lot of sense. And for him to do that to Anthony Davis and Derek Lively, like, what chance do the rest of the league have? Like, that was my takeaway as well, because it can get really crazy. And after the game, he basically said as well that he's only just scratching the surface. So to Mars's point, what does it look like when he's really getting strong, when he's adding different things to his game, when he's getting even better with experience? It's just a crazy, crazy concept to think about.
Well, Mars, you were right.
Could you imagine telling someone from 1970 that this is what basketball would become in 50 years? That we'd have this?
No.
Like, the stories you hear about Will. I'm not saying he's Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
But if there was no footage and we just heard stories about what Wemby just did last night, it would sound like Wilt Chamberlain. Not because he was doing athletic feats, like he was jumping, touching the top of the backboard. But I don't think humans, without seeing it, could fathom what Wemby just did last night. That's where I'm at. So like,
all right, let's calm down a little bit though, guys.
no, I will not
damn,
calm down.
what we
I will
coming
not
down
calm
for?
down. I will not
Because
calm down.
I mean, we've seen,
No, but
we've
Mars,
seen
that
we hold on, no, we've
I'm not gonna
seen
calm down.
Giannis, we've seen Shaq and Giannis absolutely dominate before. Like this ain't the first time we've seen
But not
domination.
in this fashion, though.
Not what I
Ox.
just, what I
It's
just
definitely
witnessed.
not
I've
the
never
first time
seen
we've seen
Shaq do a
domination.
day in his life. What I just
Hey,
witnessed.
look,
I've never seen Shaq do.
I'm super juiced from what I saw last night. Last night before I went to sleep, I said, "Yo, Wemby, he's probably the GOAT." Like what I seen last night, it's like, yeah, it's. I feel bad for everybody else in the NBA, but I'm not gonna act like what we saw last night isn't something that we. You know what I'm saying? We've seen domination past this level before. Like,
Yeah,
Yo,
but it's
Swiper.
not that. But it's not about the level. It's not saying he had the best game that's ever existed.
right.
Sure, MJ's had better games. Shaq's had better games. Wemby might go on to have better games. It's not about how good he was. That's why I said it's not about level of impact. It's about we've never seen. It's like when Steph burst onto the scene, right?
Mhm.
When Steph burst onto the scene, he wasn't the best player ever,
Right.
but we'd never seen anyone do it the way he did it. We'd never seen someone generate fanfare, or you watch a game and you didn't know humans could shoot from that far.
And you knew
You didn't know it could be viable for a human to do that. That's how I felt watching Wemby last night. It was beyond, oh well, yeah, Shaq's had better games. Yeah, of course, cool. MJ's had better. Yeah, I agree. But we've never seen anyone have a game that dominant the way Wemby did it. And that is what I think is amazing from the fan perspective.
Chat and everybody else, calm down, because I'm not hating on Wemby. I was also awestruck from everything I saw last night. I just wanted to just throw, like, we've seen Shaq and Giannis before, but this was crazy. I think we're looking at the
Swipe and pin. I want to hear from you guys on this matter. And then so many people have sent through super chats that I want to talk about what the people have to say about what we just witnessed last night. And obviously Anthony Edwards went crazy too, but this is a little different. But Swiper, talk to us.
Go to VJ.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is. I think a lot of people are just catching up. To be honest with you, I feel like we had this conversation last December, and I said the exact same thing. I said he was better than Anthony Davis then. I think if you watch the way he played last year, he was spectacular on both ends. You know, you can go to my Twitter page right now where I put up the side by side with him, Tatum, and Kath Carl, Anthony Towns, and what he was doing last season. There was a 30-game stretch where he was going bonkers as an offensive player. And by the way, Chill, you said like he wasn't doing a lot of the heady tween dribble stuff. Well, if you go back and look at the possessions last night, isolation, Mars, you can look this up too on Synergy.
I'm watching him play right now.
Yeah, there are a bunch of heady tween dribble, step back, side steps. Like it was all on display last night. And Mars, you know, we had a conversation a few days ago about, remember when I told you I think the reason why the Spurs are trying to get him more on the ball is because if you can take advantage of a super duper tall athletic freak who has that level of skill, and you give him the advantage point of being able to see over the defense and use his ability to get downhill versus some of the best defenders in the sport, it's going to give him such an advantage offensively over everybody in front of him. And so what Mitch Johnson and them are trying to implement with Wemby by giving him more control with the ball, he put that on full display last night, and he was phenomenal. And I think if you just continue to watch the way that dude was playing last night, man, like the aggressiveness he was playing with, the handle relative to a 7-footer looked extremely clean. Like the way he was walking by Anthony Davis, I'm talking about like pull-up step backs, the way he was walking by Derek Lively. He was utilizing his gravity as a shooter to get downhill, dunking on Anthony Davis, dunking on Derek Lively. It got so bad that when he was posted up on the wing to the point where he was talking about from the right wing where he did the reverse, he did a pump fake because they're so threatened by the step back shot. Because out of that same spot, Wemby got the ball 4 times on the right block. On one of them, he did the pump fake, drive, reverse, and one. And then he did another one. He did a step through into the paint, gather step, fade away from the nail, nothing but net. And then on another possession, he got fouled doing a very similar thing. Like the display of skill that we saw from Victor Wembanyama last night was a professional masterclass of somebody who takes the game extremely seriously. And I remember during his rookie year, when in the moment that he kind of woke up for me before Pin goes is When I saw him and Aaron Gordon get into it, and this was the quarter that he had 16, 17 points in, where he took the game over versus the Nuggets the year that they were contending for the number 1 seed. The only reason they win 58 games was because of Wemby. That dude has a monster inside of him in all the best ways possible. He wants to be great. He wants to be the best. He doesn't want to just be talented. He wants to be somebody who's considered the very best player of his generation and one of the best players of all time. He works like it. And the thing is, Chill, you don't get that kind of skill development unless you're absolutely killing yourself in the offseason. You don't get that kind of skill development unless you're tenacious in your approach to how you want to get better as a basketball player. You don't get a jump shot that you can get off the dribble, off the rip, off the gather, off the step back, off the sidestep. You don't develop those kind of shooting skills unless you are an absolute maniac in how much time you're committing to do your craft. So forget all of the dunks and everything else. If you look at Wemby's footwork in the post yesterday, it was spectacular. You look at Wemby's footwork on his jump shot was spectacular. The fact that you saw a 7'5" big be able to dribble, gather, step back, fade, and like you just don't see that kind of stuff. And I think Wemby, Lord willing, if he didn't have the blood clot last year, he would have made first team All-NBA last year. He was that good. Lord willing, he stays healthy. He has a chance to win MVP this year. And I'm not just saying that just to say it now. Like, I think that highly of Wemby, that he has that kind of skill in year 3. He just turned 21 years old not too long ago. Like, this is literally like the next iteration of what for me personally, of what we saw when we saw Shaq, when we saw LeBron, when we saw these other players. Like, to me, this is it. Sometimes, Damian and Penn, with your eyes, you can just watch something unfold in front of you and say, that is one of the very best players I have ever seen. And honestly, Ox, Chill, Mars, Ron, if you told me by the end of the year he was the best player in the world, I would not fight you on it, because I think that highly of Wemby. And I love the fact that Penn, and then you can go, I love the fact that he is a maniac and he doesn't settle for anything. And the fact that he commented on his own game yesterday and said he's just scratching the surface. Like, I think for me, that's what makes Wemby so special, Penn, is that he doesn't want to have a ceiling. And so he's willing to do anything and everything to make himself the very best player he can be.
Yeah. This show is for the chat. So please, chat, choose. Do I choose violence or do I choose peace right now? You let me know. I'll go depending on that. What I will say.
Come on, chat. Y'all know what to do.
Choose peace or violence.
If you want a victory lap, you can victory lap.
Please. I mean, if you want to say you was right, say you was right.
Yeah, if you're that eager to victory lap, go ahead.
Absolutely.
No.
If you want to say you was right, you was right.
I'm seeing.
What were you right about, Penn? If you say you was right about Wemby, what were you right about? What were we wrong about when it comes to Wemby? What were we wrong about?
You weren't right when you said it. I mean, if you said it today, then you might be right. But
what were you right about, Penn?
Like, he wasn't better than that.
We getting a lot of violence. Okay, look, man. Last night, I take my draft evaluation shit very seriously. I do. Okay, I talk to a lot of draft evaluators. We have group chats. We are always competing on how many games we can watch every year. When I saw this guy shooting jump shots against Rudy Gobert when he was 16 years old, I was like, that is a prospect to watch. The fluidity, the shot, the mechanics, he looks really good. But, we've seen hype prospects at 16 fall off before. Let's see how hungry he is. So I started reaching out to people in France who knew him, who were training him, and they said, never seen a player approach their development like this. This is going to be a phenom. And I'm like, okay, skeptical. Continued moving on. Then I got into the mind of it. Like, what is he actually trying to do? When he got to the Spurs, I was very happy because I knew this was an organization that was going to take their time to build this actually up. And every single year,
is what you're saying. They weren't going to
exactly. And every single time that he would come out and try some element of his process, taking jump shots, people would be like, get your butt in the post. And I'm like, y'all don't see it. Y'all telling him to be a big, he's just developing. He's a Padawan, man. He's a baby. He's trying to figure this out. And he got to figure it out against NBA size, NBA strength, and he is skinny. Wait till he figures it out. We get the health issues. I was on record going into his second year that he was the 7th best player in the league. this panel laughed me off the stage. Y'all thought I was crazy.
Mars,
gassing
did say
it.
that he was a top 10 player going into that season. Mars said it too.
Wait, what'd you say?
Mars,
Going into year 2, because I seen the clip actually.
Oh, I was talking. Yeah,
Penn said, going into year 2, Penn said he was a top 10 player. Chill questioned it, and then Penn said he's top 10 to 12 by the end of the season. So by the end of year 2, Penn said he's going to be a top 7, top 6 player. And I said, I'm high on him. You're a bit higher on him than I am. I wouldn't have him there yet, but Penn did foresee top 7. And by the end of year 2 was, what year is he in now? Year 3?
Year 3 right now, yes.
By the end of year 2, based on what I saw, I would have had Wemby around 6 or 7. So to Penn's point,
I had him at 4 to close the year off.
This offseason, we have spent a lot of time discussing Wemby. We've spent time discussing his, monk training and all the stuff. And I distinctly went back last night after watching all the games, because I do believe in being prepared, and this was not all about Wemby and the Raptors for me. So I went and watched every game I could on hyperspeed, and then I got around 4 a.m. I'm like, I wonder what everyone said about Wemby this offseason. Distinctly remember a serious discussion about Wemby and Evan Mobley. Chill.
Yep.
Shout outs. Distinctly remember Mr. Big Ox here saying he will never be better than Shaq. He will never be better than Shaq.
He still ain't better than Shaq. So what are we talking about?
Do you still believe he will never be better than Shaq?
He's not better than Shaq, Penn. So what are you talking about?
You're setting the bar. Yeah, we got to.
I mean, I would argue saying no better than Shaq is still a safe bet.
Shaq is crazy to me.
I would argue that's still a safe
doing this at 20. He's doing this at 21, 22.
You said that as if you're going you can have.
I said he's going to be a top 5 player of all time.
Keep Shaq out of it. He's not top 5 player of all time yet. Like when that happens, then talk about it.
He will be, not he is. He will be, and based on the trajectory, there is no reason to believe he will not be.
Is he going to hold?
Well, just Penn, I think you should.
When you saw second year LeBron, was he better than Jordan? No, but people started questioning, could he be? Yes. I don't think it's crazy to say this guy could be a top 5 player of all time. I don't think it's crazy what Swipe is saying that he will be the best player or could be the best player in the league. I don't think it's crazy that I parked $150 on him to win MVP at 14-1 odds. Shout outs to me. I don't think it's crazy to say he's the best defensive player in the league. I don't think it's crazy to honestly say he could be, by the end of the year, a top 5 offensive player in the league. There's really not a lot you can do to stop him. I will say this though. Everything I saw yesterday, chill on it. This is not the best of Wemby. I know what he's worked on.
Is he better than Shaq?
What he's going to be able to do by year 4 or 5 is some shit you never seen before.
Yes,
it's already some shit.
Is he better than Shaq?
Yeah, what he did last night was some shit.
Penn. If I was you, just for the sake of the conversation, I would leave that point, because I think you have more you can victory lap on. Because if you start talking about Shaq and stuff, you know how it's going to get. It's going to go all over the place.
You are correct. Swipe it. You're a good friend. Thank you for saving me from myself and diving off the deep end. You know how I like to do.
So people ain't no fun, bro.
So all I'm gonna say,
I would also like to talk about
I appreciate that this panel has talked about Wemby as much as we have. Swipe of Mars. We have all I think we all have a right to be at least self-congratulatory a little bit about trusting the Spurs process a little bit, because I think a lot of people have ripped this guy for bad process and what are the Spurs doing with him, and it's like, now you see what the Spurs are doing with him. How dare you try to victory lap on us?
Did you see the places, Chill? And this is to the basketball point, but Penn and Ox obviously is the Hoopers and Ron. Like, did you see the spots they were putting Wemby out on the floor? Yeah. And I think that speaks to how versatile he is, that they had him at the top of the key. They had him on the block. They had him at the nail receiving the ball. They had him in the corner, Mars, coming off of like some down screens coming around to get like, and again, Mars, like I know you were, and it was a strategic thing based on previous information, which is typically how a lot of us try to argue from.
The turnovers?
Yeah, the turnover stuff, which is fine. Like, he didn't play for OKC.
I still think the turnovers are going to be
they will come, but
last night was amazing.
Beyond the turnovers, even March, we were
talking about a great defensive player. Please don't leave that part out.
But Anthony Davis is not. Anthony Davis doesn't get into.
I'm not as high on Anthony Davis at this point as you.
Yeah, he doesn't get into your defense like he doesn't get into your grill defensively like that. But I think Penn, to the point though, like they are Mitch Johnson especially. I had him as my coach of the year this year. I think he's been phenomenal since he's been there to take over Pop. And as Ox knows, as the two of us love Pop. Those are heavy shoes to fill. And for the Spurs to trust Mitch Johnson, a young dude, I think he's in his 30s, man, late 30s. For you to
38,
trust
matter of fact.
Wemby's
38.
development, De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Carter Bryant, with a dude that young, I love the fact that Mitch Johnson at his young age is going to have an opportunity to literally have his career like stamped next to Wemby for the next 15 years. That
Well,
would
what
be
do you
like
have to lose, though, Swiper? Like
Yeah.
to your point, like what does he have to lose at that point? I mean, San Antonio, there's a reason why they got the number 1 pick in the draft. They were
Yeah.
bad, right? So they were a bad team. So if I'm
situationally bad, yeah.
if I'm hitching my wagon to Wemby, what do I have to lose? Okay, this doesn't go the way I want it to go. But what happens if it does? What
But
happens if this guy
Wemby,
actually
but again, Wemby chill, but hitching it to Dylan Harper, who looked good last night. They're hitching it to Stephon Castle, who looks like he improved over the summer. They're hitching it to Carter Bryant. They're hitching it to my guy Devin Vassell, who I wouldn't trade Kevin Durant for if you saw on the timeline. I'm telling you, if you look up and down the roster, chill, the future is bright, but the now is bright. And I'm telling you right now, Mars, and again, this is jokey right here, Mars. That team would wash with De'Aaron Fox the Milwaukee Bucks. I want to revisit that conversation from 2 days ago. They would wash the Bucks. That Wemby, with De'Aaron Fox coming on the court,
good against the Wizards. The Bucks were classic against the Wizards.
Penn, what I want to do is really
they
quick,
would
Penn,
destroy
I'd
the
like to
Bucks.
clarify.
hey, De'Aaron
what's
Fox
up,
is not
Joe?
even there yet, Ox.
So
What up,
this-
Joe?
Destroy the Bucks. Absolutely demolish the Bucks. Like, kill
Go ahead,
them.
go ahead,
I'm-
chill. But before we chill, I'm gonna let you get one more take off, and then we got to transition. But go ahead, do your thing.
What I want to do is I want to clarify, because you mentioned like being a big man. I recognize that in today's game, the big man isn't what he was 25, 30 years ago, right? I do recognize that I don't have to park myself on the left block, park myself on the right block, and just ask for the ball every trip. No, the game is way different, right? What I think the guards have done, if they have pushed big men away from the basket, and you do have to add that element to your game, no doubt about that. That doesn't mean that I have to be out there all night. I do have to do big man things. This is what I'm clarifying. So the same logic goes with guards. If I'm a lead guard, I understand that you have to be able to score at a high level at the lead guard today, but I still have to do lead guard things. So when I'm thinking about Wemby, I appreciate all the stuff that he's doing with the ball handling, with the jump shooting. But what I'm looking for is I'm still looking for you to implement doing big man things. And I think that's what's going
Did
to
he
make
look like a big man to you last night, or did he
did,
look
man.
like
He
an
looked like a
absolute
fucking-
wing?
No, he didn't. He looked like a big fella. He looked like a big fella.
He gave
with
you
skills.
flashes of guard skills. He gave you flashes of
Good.
Kevin Durant step backs. He gave you
good.
big man things.
And
He is a
glass
complete.
cleaning,
He is
man in
turning.
the paint.
Oh,
What-
but he's
I'm
been
glad-
doing that.
He's
his
He's been
whole-
doing that for 3
He's
years.
been doing
But
that
I'm-
the whole
he
time.
just looks like something I had never
That's
seen
what I've
before.
always asked for. I'm
Yeah.
watching him. I'm watching Dallas's guards. I'm watching guys go to the lane, and Wemby's in the paint. Nope, I'm gonna go
Chill.
the other way. I'm watching guys,
Well,
big men. I'm
Well, that
watching
happened last year
Derek.
too.
Chill.
I'm
This
watching
happened
Derek.
his rookie year.
I'm watching Derek. I'm watching, and again, what I don't want to. I don't want to get off the point here. I understand that part. I just want to continue to see that. The other parts, I can definitely get with a guy expanding his game and moving further away from the basket to add that element to his game. Just
That
don't
is
get away
his
from what
game,
makes
but
you the
that's his
most
total
effective.
game. Chill.
Just don't
Having
get
the
away from what makes you the
playmaker,
most effective.
but chill. Having the
Let's
playmaker
not
at
get caught up on
7'5",
whether they look like a big
having
or
a
not.
playmaker like he made some really good decisions yesterday. Okay, as a playmaker, I think he made some really good decisions, getting off the ball real quick, back cut, boom. Like that's all wing stuff. His total skill package is very wing, guard, big, adjacent. He is some shit
Yep.
you haven't seen before. I hate development failures. There are so many players who have been ruined by bad coaches, bad trainers that end up being utilized in the way they can be best utilized to win at that moment. The Spurs didn't do that with Wemby. Yes, it is far more advantageous to park his ass on the basket and just say, okay, shoot jump hooks all day. Sure, that's more advantageous to our win total,
Sure.
but that's not advantageous to expanding his total game. And this is why I talk to so many trainers, because the Spurs have done it right with him. And the entire NBA world has ripped them for 2.5 years. Let's not even lie that they haven't. What are y'all doing with Wemby? This is what y'all doing with Wemby. And trust me, it ain't big man shit that he's doing right now. He's doing total NBA player shit. You don't waste the talents of a 7'5" player with this type of processing, this type of shooting stroke, this type of flexibility by just parking his ass under the basket like he's
I don't
Kareem
wanna do that.
Abdul-Jabbar. He
And I
won't.
don't
all
wanna
right,
do
Penn.
that.
Penn, we
Yeah.
got you. We got you. Hey, Penn, you did your victory lapping a little bit. But I think you got like 3 or 4 more laps in you. And we'll get to that during the second hour of the show, the third hour of the show. Mars, we might even go in overtime to let Penn victory lap a little more. But as of right now, I want to see how you guys feel about Victor Wembanyama. I'm running a poll. Will Wemby, in fact, go down as a top 5 player ever?
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.